Now, ladies and gentlemen, the left-wing goons and kooks all over TV, they get the little marching orders, their talking points, and they spew the same thing. You'll recall, there was a period of time when we were supposed to believe that Donald Trump hated all women and abused all women. Then there was a period of time we were supposed to believe he was mentally ill, and they kept talking about the 25th Amendment. And there have been other character assassination and smear efforts. It's as if they all talk to each other and they get their talking points. And now it is, of course, that he is a liar, a serial liar. He cannot be depended on. He cannot be relied on. And that they're hoping will really stick. So when he gets into the next election, that is the midterm election, you won't believe anything he says. Of course, they never said this about Obama, about keeping your doctor or keeping your health care plan, or the plan won't cost. You actually cut it by $2,500. Now, there's a serial liar. Or the Iran deal. There's your serial liar, Obama. Or DACA. There's your serial liar, Obama. And on and on and on, Obama, serial liar. But did they ever call Obama a liar? Ever? Did they ever say he was mentally ill? No. Did they ever call him a domestic terrorist, despite the fact that he hung out with domestic terrorists? No, not once. How dare you make such a comment about him? Yet the attacks on Trump are unrelenting. And it's acceptable. And I'm not accepting it. It's acceptable out there because they keep it up. Well, I don't accept it. Take this clown, this putz, this nobody, this footnote to nothing, Jim Himes. Himes. From Connecticut. Cut 6, go.
So when
and the female's voice is Allison Camerata, who used to work for Fox. Now she's at CNN, and she quickly genuflected, and she's a left-wing kook. Go ahead.
So sometimes the president, as we know, floats these conspiracy theories as sort of trial balloons to see what sticks.
What conspiracy theories, you idiot? He took it right out of the New York Times. No conspiracy theory. Can't you think for yourself? Allison, go.
So the election meddling that he says is to come is, who knows? I mean, maybe it'll stick, maybe it won't. Some of these things end up without any evidence, like the spying that he's claiming, end up sort of petering out.
But listen to her dripping sarcasm, and what it is dripping stupidity. They hate this word spy because it's the perfect word. It's the perfect word. They had a spy. Oh, the so-called spy. Spy. It's confidential human resource. It's not a spy. And we know this at CNN because we're so smart over here at CNN. Go ahead.
What do Democrats do about things like this and how to deflect the president's accusations?
You see, she's asking, come on, you got to help us, Himes, if that is your name. You got to help us here. What should the Democrats do to fight Trump and deflect this? Go ahead. Call him something sick. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Allison, it's more ominous than that, right? It's not like something sticks or it doesn't stick. Look, the president 3 or 4 times a day simply makes stuff up and lies about things.
No, he doesn't. He didn't make anything up and lie about it. He told the truth. You nitwit. Go ahead.
That he's got a hardcore group of followers who, as he so famously put it...
Stop. So there's something wrong with you folks. Don't you understand? There's something wrong with you. You're a hardcore group of followers. You use the word spy. Don't use the word spy. You're all hung up on the FISA warrant. Don't be hung up on the FISA warrant. You don't like Jim Comey. Jim Comey's a good guy. We hated him before, but we love him now. You know, we Clintonoids with our hemorrhoids. Yes. Go ahead.
If he shot somebody on Fifth Avenue, and a significant percentage of them are running around...
Shot somebody on Fifth Avenue. I thought that was a Bernie Sanders supporter who shot somebody at a baseball park in Alexandria, Virginia. I think he shot Scalise, among others. Is this funny? I don't think it's funny. Go ahead.
Saying, oh my God, they're rigging the next election. Now... this is part of Donald Trump's overall project.
You're not rigging the next election? Where you're trying to attack the Electoral College? Where you're trying to allow illegal aliens to vote or other people who are not supposed to be voting by dumbing down our state election rules and laws? Well, what's that for if you don't want people to vote who aren't supposed to vote? you moron. Go ahead.
Not just the FBI, with the insane theory that the people who work there are somehow driven by the former president.
Nobody said the people who work there are somehow driven by the former president. But the former president did appoint the upper echelon of the FBI, and they worked for him. And we had the unmasking. And we had the FISA application. And we had the human resource informant. We had all this stuff going on, Congressman. Go ahead.
Behavior of the FBI during the election and
shut up, you idiot. You make us all dumber just listening, you drone on. Then we got this guy Swallwell. The hell does that mean, Swallwell? Swallwell? Eric Swallwell. Eric is not well. Democrat in California. This guy's everywhere. Who the hell is he? What the hell has he done? Except walking the walls. Eric Swallwell, Democrat, California. He's on MSNBC. Gee, I wonder why they asked him to show up. Cut 5, go.
Our democracy has been under assault from the Russians over the last few years, but now there's a new front, and that's from Donald Trump and his enablers in Congress.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You're just like the Russians. You're a new front. You're a new front. Now, of course, the Democrats have loved the Russians. The Democrats love the Russians. John Dewey loved the Russians. The Soviets. Big-time progressive. The progressives loved the Russians. The early progressives, the later progressives. They thought they were swell till they then realized, wait a minute, they're turning on us. Alger Hiss, Democrat Party apparatchik, that a spy for the Russians. A confidential informant for the Russians. Then we had Ted Kennedy, who actually colluded and conspired with the Kremlin to try and defeat Reagan, as our dear friend Professor Paul Kengor has written over and over again. No matter how many times he writes it, the left-wing media won't read it. Ted Kennedy, was he a human resource informant? He may have been. Where's Bob Mueller when you need him? May I call you Bob? Then we have all kinds of Democrats colluding, conspiring, supporting Soviet satellites. Cuba, or as they say in Kennedy world, Cuba. We also had them, Cranston of California. There was another one for 24 years, that bobblehead. Bernie Sanders, that schmuck. He has his honeymoon with his beautiful wife in Moscow. There's collusion. We don't have any dossier on him, do we? No, apparently not. Apparently not. There's even more. You got Dianne Frankenfeinstein and her husband making a fortune off communist China. Anybody? No. Joe Biden's son making a fortune off... Nope. Kerry's stepson making a fortune off China. Anyone? No, we don't care. We got these Trump supporters, they're just like the Russians. They're the problem, Go ahead.
Lay that right at the feet of Paul Ryan. He has allowed his chairman of the Intelligence Committee, Devin Nunes, to undermine the investigation.
Time to get Devin Nunes, ladies and gentlemen. Devin Nunes, a hero, patriot, as opposed to this backbencher, this guy, Swallwell. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.